This is Overtime, a live series brought to you by Riglinks and War Room Media, where we talk about basically anything we want. And here are your hosts, Greg Williams and Ryan Ray.
Holy banana hammock.
What's up, man?
How you doing, Ryan?
Good. I am, well, like I told you last week, I'm kind of soft. And so we had some snow over the weekend. And thankfully, it wasn't the wind blowing. And so it was like 37 with snow. We got like 4 or 5 inches. And so it was nice. But the wind went blowing. So it was, for a softy like me, I could even go out there and run around and enjoy it.
I saw some of those softy photos, man.
Oh, yeah.
All around Louisiana. And
yeah. Well, it is what it is. So I can't deny the truth. How about you? How
it's been
you
a
doing?
wild week.
You're still undisclosed location?
Yep, still undisclosed location for another 5-6 days.
That's probably a good thing. I mean,
next time we do this, I will hopefully be in sunny Houston. So
I might suggest,
but I'm okay, even if it's not sunny.
I might just
stay away.
Stay wherever you are. Just stay there for the next, I don't know, month or two. So
next 4 years,
at least
6 years,
at least. So, anyways, it's crazy times, no doubt.
All right, well, let's get into the little rundown here.
I'm waiting on the Clone Wars rag.
No Clone Wars rag today.
No Clone Wars. Okay. I expect to watch 2 or 3 seasons worth because you're going to have so much time on your hands on
what?
Yeah. So Jose has pointed out that Houston sucks, and I would just say that given DFW or Houston weather, DFW weather is supreme, and it's not even close. People are like, oh, it's too dry. I'm like, go down to Houston. That's humid. Because it's too dry, it's too humid here in Dallas. It's like, go down to Houston. That's humid. Go to Midland. That's dry. Right here is just like, growing up in Louisiana was like I grew up in Northeast Louisiana, so it's like like a sauna every day, and so I don't miss it. I like the DFW. Man, we got folks pouring in here.
Man, there's definitely other places in the world that sucks worse than Houston. I'm gonna just
okay. I mean, yes. Okay.
I mean, I think there's categories of what sucks. I mean, It's not like I think Houston is probably like, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's on the upper echelon of suck, but it's like it's I particularly, out of all of the larger metropolitan cities that I've been to and areas, I actually don't mind Houston. It's okay.
Have you been to Beijing? Might I interest you in a trip to Beijing?
Have you been to Singapore?
No, I have not.
Oh wait, hold up. No, he's got it here. You take it, sir. Sorry.
Let's see here. I've been. I tell you in all seriousness, I've been in some spots that aren't metropolitan, but they are like, the World Health Organization. They do like the worst places in the world. Not like being like serious, like the most impoverished places in the world. And I've been to some of those. That's okay. That's for being serious. Like that's really bad. I've never been to Iraq before, so I can't speak to that. But I've been to some bad spots in Nicaragua and Honduras. So,
well, wherever they drill wells at, I'm good for it. It doesn't matter. Good.
Yeah. So someone asked why we do this on Thursdays, Greg. Why don't you tell them why we do it on Thursdays?
Well,
when should we? I'm just curious. When would you prefer? We got folks pouring in. So when would y'all prefer us to do it? I'm just curious. Where is that chick from London? I don't know.
That's Harvey. That was on the other show, man. You were there on the other one with us, Jose.
I'm sorry. This is as good as this face is getting. I can't. There's nothing I can do. I've talked to doctors, consulted therapists. They recommend to turn the camera off. Leave it on. So I don't know. I think this makes Greg.
You just got a new camera, dude. Don't do that. You just got a new camera. You need to get the monies out of it first. So
yeah, I think thank you, Greg, for letting me use my new camera. So
I think one of the reasons we do it on Thursdays is because the weeks are completely wrapped up with everything else. And Fridays are afternoons, Fridays, whenever we're separated in different time zones, doesn't really work out well for us.
Yeah.
Because typically I'm drinking. So, I mean, I'm just honest with the crowd and honest with myself. And, if this was a Friday night, 9:30, 10 o'clock, other side of the world, it'd be on. So,
well, that and I like to go fishing.
Burger King.
Yeah. Okay. 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Okay. I like to go get
Jose. Thank you for your service, by the way.
And thank you, Jose. And so Friday mornings would be a time to go fishing, and so there'd be a lot of, hey, Friday, hey Greg, I can't be there because I'm out fishing. So,
well, we need to do maybe one rundown while we're fishing. That would be good.
Now, hey, we need to guess.
We need to do a live podcast while we're fishing. That would be good, or a live LinkedIn show, or
Jose,
live Facebook. Whatever.
Thank you for engaging, Jose. We love the feedback. So we can't get to them all, obviously, but the more the merrier.
That's exactly right. So we'll talk about Ryan's favorite topic there. We kick off with the oil prices.
Wow. This show hates me.
Yeah.
This show hates me.
Well, hey, we try our best. We'll talk about the U.S. production 2020 and 2021. And kind of what the oil and gas did during the pandemic. That was Mr. David's article. It was a fantastic article. I appreciated reading it a lot. It was good. For those that don't know, the Saudis in their $500 billion carbon-free city. Who has the longest pipe, Ryan? So we got some
I don't know LinkedIn.
crazy football play names. I thought that was pretty cool. I figured we'd share that with the public. Briefly, when I say briefly, I don't mean 11 o'clock getting off of here, but briefly speak about Amazon and Parler just a little bit. I think it's important for new technology and different people out there that's coming up with different ideas about how to do things in the future and communicate. It's important about who you pick as a service provider. We'll speak a little bit about Spycraft and close off with Quentin Tarantino. So just full of a bunch of crap today. We ready? Let's do it. All right. Let's see there. 52.69 for the WTI. Brent is 55.54. It's pretty close together there, right?
Mm-hmm. I think they're lovely. I think the oil prices are fantastic. I think
they're probably more indicative to what it actual is happening in the market. So, yeah.
There's no inflation in the market. The prices aren't overly hyped. I think this is exactly where the price of oil should be. That's what I think, Greg. What do you think?
Considering how close they are together, I would tend to agree with you. I don't think.
Oh, by the way, France to introduce nationwide lockdown at 6 p.m. curfew local time.
Oh, okay. So that's a new one.
Yeah.
I don't. I think where it's at, I think has a lot to do with the tail end of some of the things. The market, though, in general. I mean, even whenever you're talking about, even the stock market, the energy futures are looking decent. I mean, it's not I don't know. Is this all hinging on what's going on with the U.S.? No, but is it playing around in its backyard? Yeah.
You know me, I'm concerned. I can't make sense of it, but I'm going to be the
Ryan says it's going to be $70 tomorrow.
Yes, I'm predicting 70 by the end of the week. We are. I am the bull of the bulls today. $70. I just, Greg. I look at the stock market. And I look at the stock market saying it's up lovely. The corporations are killing it. And then I look at Congress. Congress is saying that we need to give out more stimmies. We need more stimmies to go around. And then you look at the did you see the jobs report today?
I didn't. No.
Pull it up real quick.
Hey, everyone. Let's see. Yes. Oklahoma.
Maybe it's employment.
Oman. Let's see. Kuwait. Yeah.
Well, okay. I apologize, Greg. I don't have it right here, and I can't find it. Jobless. There it is. Jobless claims. Jobless claims surged to 5-month high. That was 2 hours ago from Market Watch.
5-month high.
5-month high. But don't worry. Nothing to see here.
It was 5 months ago. 5 months ago was when we were in the middle of the highest part of the pandemic, were we not? But
And so let's see here. I can see this in the private chat, can I? Okay. There it is. So if you want to pull it up, you don't have to, but if you do, there it is. So essentially it says the number of Americans who applied for jobless benefits soared in early January to a 5-month high to nearly 1 million as more workers lost their job due to business closures and restrictions to combat the winter resurgence of the coronavirus pandemic. So I mean, hey, Oklahoma.
I think those numbers may be a bit inflated as well. I mean, do you think that's
jobless numbers? We got to think the PPP money has officially run out. I know they're talking about re-upping it, but all the PPP money was extended to the end of the year. And so any businesses that were only living off of PPP, they're going to now suffer. So we don't know what percentage that is or isn't, but it's not surprising that. So initially it was like an 8-week PPP plan, right? And then it went to the end of the year, or 16 weeks in the end of the year. So all the PPP money is now exhausted. You can't. Okay, you could theoretically keep using it, but you're paying a loan. So if you're going to give it, if you're going to use it and have it forgiven, that's exhausted, which I would assume is probably most of the funds or a good portion of the funds. And so those companies.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So if you use the money and you thought, well, I'm going to use the money to get to the end of the year, and then you didn't make it, you're going to see some of this stuff. And so someone's saying the PPP is on again, right? They have passed the second round, but to my knowledge, I don't think they funded that yet. Maybe they have. I'm not sure. I haven't followed the second bill, but even if you can get a second bill, everyone can't get one. Everyone won't one. I can't speak today, and so
WANT.
What's that?
WANT want.
Want. Thank you.
Jose, you got some good comments, my man. You are definitely bored at the moment. I do appreciate your attendance to this show. If it wasn't for you and the good comments, I don't know what we would do at the moment. Buddy, jump in there. All right. Moving on. Sorry, before we move on, but I did have just a couple of things to say. That last week we talked about the Saudi cut and how things, affected in the sentiment in the U.S. side of things. But do they ramp up based on thoughts from the last meeting, or do they keep a more reserved approach? And how it looks like they're going to take a more reserved approach, I think. What do you think?
Say that last part again.
I said I think they're going to take a more reserved approach. Now, I did see where they made a comment about using some of the U.S. shale to backfill some of the production.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read that?
Yeah, I haven't seen the article, but I've seen some online discussion about what might happen.
Yeah, forecasting oil production to rise about 3.5% next year, spurred by higher crude Higher crude prices. Yeah. I mean, if you look at this chart, it doesn't. What?
We talk about Goldman Sachs on this show, saying that Brent's going to hit W65 by June.
No, we didn't talk about that, but that's wild, though.
Right. So,
EIA sees U.S. petroleum demand this year at 19.51 million versus 19.79 million. Previously forecasted global supply for 2021 will average 97.13 million barrels a day versus 97.42 previously. World demand is seen at 97.8 million, down. Actually, they have that backwards, Mr. Bloomberg. World demand is seen at 97.8 million, down from prior forecast of 98.2. Oh, wait, sorry, they were right. Down from prior forecast of 98.2. So, although 97.8, 98.2 doesn't sound like a whole lot of difference, does it?
well,
that's definitely not enough to make any kind of price forecast. That's for sure. What is that?
You know,
I wish I had that. I wish I just had the difference of that in my bank. That's
well. I'd take the half of the difference of that in my bank.
Yeah, for sure.
So
my question here is, how long will that last, you think?
Which part?
The reluctance to throw the valve open from our side.
I mean, I think to the summer. I don't. You know, France is going back under lockdowns. Like, so if you just look at the COVID numbers globally, they're far worse than they are, you know, at any point when we did lockdowns. And so, you know, are the governments going to look us in the eye? And I'm pro open up, not lockdowns at all. So just be clear, but are the governments going to look at the eye and say, hey, yeah, we locked you down when there was not a thing, but now there's this thing and we're going to let you go free? I mean, okay, I hope they do, but I'm just not very optimistic about that. And, you know, if we're printing more PPP, more stimmies, more, you know, bailouts, that's not a sign of a healthy economy. And so, you know, and then the other thing is, if you look at China, the news out of China is serious voice here. China is the only major nation to grow its economy last year, according to experts. Okay, you know, that's what you read, and then you read about the Chinese debt problem, and you're like, I'm not sure either of these things are true at this point. And so, yeah, so I don't know, Greg. You know, there used to be a time when you could say, I think this is going to be a reasonable thing to happen. We are now in the territory where we don't know when we get to that. So
unscripted.
Right. And so think about like this. So 2016, when the oil price crashed, right? So then 2017, you're like, okay. And then 2018, you're like, then by I guess second half 2018, maybe something like that. 2018, what's all 2018? 2018, 2019, you kind of felt pretty confident. You could tell where the market was going. You know, there were some things that still surprised you, like there'd be a bombing in the Middle East. It wouldn't move the price, or an attack in Nigeria, and it wouldn't move the price really. Like, okay. And you had to kind of learn to reinterpret the news that these things aren't going to impact the price as much as they used to. Then 2020 happened, and, you know, like all the guardrails are off. We're off in the ditch. We don't have 4-wheel drive, and we're just spinning around.
Training wheels are off.
Right. So, you know, my hesitation to make predictions right now is really because we literally saw the U.S. Capitol people inside of it 8 days ago. It's like, and then we've had
with fur and head of horns.
Vikings stormed the Capitol.
I mean,
I know Vikings don't anymore.
Only thing, I mean, I saw the other photo with the rebel flag. It would have been just teed right off if the Viking had been carrying the rebel flag too. The world, yes. I mean, everybody was lost their mind totally.
If you look down in like South Africa, you know, they banned alcohol sales. They're back in lockdown. So, yeah, I am not a perma bear. That's not what I am. I am a reluctant bull right now because, you know, the dominoes have to fall, and maybe they don't. Maybe I'm just wrong, but when you hear my reluctance, it's more just like you see all of these things, and
It's like another day in the Thunderdome, man.
yes, well,
Every day.
except for the stock market goes up, and it's like if the stock market was like all time lows, I'd be like, okay, God, this is bad, but we're going to bounce out of it. We hit the all time lows before it got bad, so
yeah,
that's so you see the problem. Like now with oil and gas, we hit the all time low, going negative when it got bad. But anyways, so sorry.
I mean, but it's not a day that goes by that you don't see some kind of something in the news or something. It just I remember growing up, same as you. We're close to the same age, old. But anyway, it was I just don't recall a moment or a point in my entire life where things have seemed like there was just every day you woke up and it was like a world wrestling match every single day that you woke up. That's exactly, and it's a complete and absolute shit show every day. I mean, I watch your Twitter feed. I watch some of the guys that you follow's Twitter feed. And I mean, some of the stuff that comes across there is just absolutely chaotic. And I mean, you can't even like your mind won't even go into the depths of some places where these things come from. It's just, you can't even make it up. I mean, movies, yes. Some of the movies aren't even this good. I mean, I say this good, but it doesn't even have this kind of content in it.
Well, yeah. And real quick. So
the thing about it is they probably wouldn't produce them if it did. So.
Yeah, that's
right, Carter. It is closer to war times. You're right.
I think I told the story on the show before, but if not, I'll tell it again. My son, this time last year or December of 2019, was like, "Hey, Dad, nothing's ever what's happened in your lifetime." So I went to the iPhone, the CD player, all this stuff. He's like, "Oh man, nothing's ever cool happened in my lifetime." So now I remind him of that often, and just kind of kind of give him a hard time. Like, don't ever ask for anything significant to happen in your lifetime again. But one of the things I told him when we were going through the shutdowns last year, in the U.S. at least, I said, son, you get to understand, when 9/11 happened, we entered a period. I remember we were going, I went to the Saints game that the fall of 2001, I guess it was. I remember we were at the top of the Superdome sitting there thinking, oh, my God, will a plane crash into the Superdome, right? Will something like this happen? Or you come home from school and it would be like a red alert or orange alert. But nothing ever actually happened, right? We were just afraid that things were going to happen. And so after a while of nothing happening, things go back to normal because nothing happened.
You get desynthesized. That's right.
Right. And so, and you realize that it's probably an isolated, 9/11 is a terrible event. I'm trying to make light of it, but it's an isolated event. It's not every day we're having terrorist attacks in the U.S. To that scale, especially. In 2020, what we've seen is that we can't, if we would have had a 2-week lockdown and that would have been it, that would have been bad from my perspective. But we'd look back and say, okay, well, are they lock us down again? No. Are they lock us down again? No. Are they going to do this again? No. We can't break that cycle. And because we can't break that cycle and move forward, we're kind of stuck in this tailspin of, what's next? How do we move forward? And that's the big difference between 9/11 and 2020 is that we can't actually move forward with our lives. And that's what's so frustrating to me.
Paul Finley. The main problem I feel that exists today, Greg, is that the data and information flow is so unreliable that no one can make a prediction on this year. Well, the way 2020 ended off going into 2021, Paul, I would definitely agree with you. We're actually in the 13th month of 2020. So, same shit, just different day. Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely correct. Now we think impeachment is normal. We do it. We actually have it down to a science now and can do it, within 3 days from what I'm hearing this side of the world. So bullshit. All right. We're going to move on. So, I think Reuters first covered this. So we're going to go back to Mr. David's article real quick. Yeah, Mr. David's article. You've interviewed Mr. David quite a lot, and Mr. David's been on a lot of your podcasts, and he's done some co-hosting with you. And most of everything that I read from Mr. Blackman there seems to be very well written, very articulate. He's got a good. He's definitely got a grasp on the big picture where a lot of people can't even see the other side from the trees. So, one of the things that all of us in this industry, or anybody that's still in this industry, is what this industry did for the world and actually did during that pandemic. It was basically the backbone to the entire operation. So anywhere you see a virus that's being created, anywhere you see sorry, not virus, but people create virus. But anyway, anywhere where you see vaccines being produced and shipped, anywhere they're flying them, doctors and nurses going from north to south to help with recovery efforts in different hospitals, and they don't get there by riding electric bullet trains. They don't get there by all piling up and ride sharing in Toyota Priuses. So they're flying. They're taking as many modes of transportation as they can, and they're using the system as it was created, as it was built, and the great transportation system that was set up in the United States. And it is on the backbone of the industry that we're in right now. So that's what I got to say, Brian.
I agree. And the beautiful thing, and I will put this in the comments over here so folks want to read it. There's a book called I Pencil, the letter I Pencil, not like the little small I and then pencil, but just I Pencil. And it goes through what it takes to build a pencil and all the parts and resources involved. Now, it's not a pro-oil or anti-oil and gas book, but what I like to point out is even if they did do the bullet train, even if they did have the Prius, well, okay, how did you build the Prius? What roads are the Priuses? Well, when you drive a Prius, what's the road made of? When I was with someone when I was on
marshmallows.
Yes, marshmallows. That's exactly. Which probably come from oil and gas. But, when I was on a little cross country tour a month or two back, or before the election, I guess it was now, and I come across people in oil and gas would come up from time to time, and they'd say, "Well, we're killing the environment," and we'd be on the street in a corner somewhere talking, and I'd say, "Well, look around. What percentage of this stuff comes from oil and gas? Because there is no oil rigs, there's no gas stations. We're in downtown of big cities, New York, Philly, Cleveland, stuff like that. So there's no oil and gas things in sight that you would think oil and gas." And they go, "Oh, I don't know, 10, 15%. I'm like, 100. The answer was 100. And they'd be like, "What do you mean?" And so I kind of explained it to them loosely. And they'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, let's talk about the penguins or something." But to Blackman's point with the COVID, whatever you come on the COVID issue, wherever you come on the vaccine issue, the oil and gas is the winner here, because we are the ones that empower this stuff. I used to say it like this: right now in the world somewhere, there is a helicopter with a heart in it and a little ice chest going from spot A to spot B. It's going to save a life. That is because of oil and gas.
Yep.
And so we save lives. And so whether it's COVID, heart transplants, or the ambulance or whatever, it's just a fact. We're not frontline workers like that, but it's just we enabled them to do their job
on a massive scale. Why? Because it is plentiful. It is plentiful. There is a lot of people that knows how to do it, and there's a lot of professionals in the world that can go out there, put the plans in place, and get it done. Mm-hmm. And I mean, but he says the end there. But of course, the reality about the oil and gas business is that that the less it is discussed in the media, the better it is working for all of us. I agree 150,000%, Mr. Blackman. In the context of this COVID-19 pandemic, American consumers should be very happy. They've hardly had to think about oil and natural gas and the related plants, factories, and supply chains at all. Because if you were talking about it in that context, that would mean you've been doing without it. And that is one deprivation that Americans have not had to bear. So,
well, we talk about, we're joking earlier about places that about Houston, or, places you don't want to be that are worse than Houston. Those places do not have a lot of oil and gas. Not like drilling, but oil and gas infrastructure has not been built out. Roads, towns, buildings, cars.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, the show I just did with Arby earlier with all the stuff in West Africa, just talking about the population in Senegal and Mauritania together, 21 million people. That's the top seven cities in the United States. That's how many people are in those two countries. So, and I mean, you're talking, probably 50, 60% of those people don't even have power. 70% of those people don't even have power, running water, nothing. Don't even have roads to walk on. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, take for granted walking to the kitchen faucet and turning it on tomorrow. So.
Yep, 100%.
But this next one here, I think Reuters covered it in August of last year, but it was still kind of interesting. So this is our $500 billion carbon-free emission city, Saudi. Now, a $500 billion project is being billed as a development equivalent to a sci-fi blockbuster. A length of 105 miles along the Red Sea coast, construction is starting first quarter of this year, and the project will create 380,000 jobs. 380,000 jobs. That's like, what is that, 6 football stadiums, or 6 energy stadiums? What is that? So 60, yeah, almost. So that's, all right. So they're going to build the city. It's going to be carbon free, but how much carbon are they going to create building the city?
Right.
So, I mean,
get all the tractors down there.
These tractors.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like that's the epitome of like carbon free. What does it even mean? What does it mean?
But 105 miles. So that would be, so that's 60. That would be 60 miles, or like 25, almost 30 either side of Houston. So that's a long run. 103 miles, 105 miles, city.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big place. And the advantage here is a place like Saudi Arabia.
They have desert, never run out.
They have desert. That's right, a lot of desert. But the other advantage is that in their society they can do these types of projects. I'm not saying it's a positive or negative. I'm saying like the advantage because of their style of government is that they can do this. For in the U.S., we'd never see this done. Like there's just you'd never. So again, this kind of goes back to that whole, like I've been kind of railing on the medical community with how for applauding China for how they handled COVID-19. And I don't know if you saw or not, they locked down 22 million people this week in China, like 70 cases. And so, 22 million people, 70 cases. And so,
that sounds like the right thing to do.
70 cases. Yeah. Makes sense. Those ratios work out well. And so it's like, okay, well, if you want to praise China, then 22 million people, 70 cases or 50 cases or whatever it is. It's not that many. It's like, okay, that's what you want. If you want to build a carbon-free 105-mile long city, then you have to have this government. And so people just presume that you can have all of these things in one country. And that's just not how it works. There are trade-offs. If you want to shut down the virus, like with the iron hammer, then you have to live in a communist state because that's the only way that you can do it. If you want to build a big 105-mile wild carbon city, you got to live in Saudi Arabia where they own the land. You don't own the land. They own it. And I remember talking to some folks from Saudi Arabia one time, Greg, and I was asking them, how they handled relocation. And he said, well, if we find the oil in a village, what we'll do is we'll basically just move it.
Move the whole village.
Yeah. He said, well, the king will pay them something, and then they'll just build a different village somewhere else, and we'll just move those people from A to B. Okay.
I've never actually dug into or looked at how the wealth, if any, is distributed. Much different than Brunei, because Brunei shares a percentage of the wealth of the country with the citizens of the country. So a little bit different situation. I'm not sure what Saudi does. I know it's different for Brunei, but I don't know if they share anything.
Interesting, because last year, I believe, they put a VAT out for like the first time ever and that got some folks upset. And so they had to be careful because a few years of a down oil market became a problem. And hey, Carter Patrick, my man, can we get that comment up on here on the screen, Greg? My man, here now. Thank you, sir. No, you don't. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, and if you don't believe that, then don't pay it and see what happens.
Yeah. And here's I point this out to people. So if you have a mortgage, who pays the taxes on your land with the mortgage? The bank does. The mortgage company does. Why? Because if you don't pay your taxes and you don't pay your mortgage, guess who comes and gets it first? The state or the county, whatever. Not the bank. So the bank pays your taxes because they know who actually owns it. So it is a fair point. Obviously, we have more rights than you do in Saudi Arabia or China, stuff like that. But yes, as long as you have a property tax, effectively, you're just paying rent on it long term. So
rent long term. And as long as you're paying your property tax, they can't come kick you off of it legally.
Well, until they want to put a pipeline or build a wall or a carbon-free city.
That's it. But I mean, typically in the U.S., that's whenever some money comes along and you have a different, it's a different conversation than it is whenever they find oil in your village and they move your whole village. It's a little bit different there. I don't think you get anything other than a relocated village out of the deal. So
you're already on the payroll to begin with, so you can't get a whole lot more.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to talk about who's got the biggest pipe.
This is a dangerous conversation.
Yeah, it is. But Ryan, North America is expected to have the maximum share of global oil and gas pipeline trunk transmission length by 2024, representing 43%, running a length of, got this in kilos, yeah, so whatever that is, 899,000 kilometers. It'll only be second to Asia. So
Asia? Oh, North America. You said North America, not America. I was like, wow, why are we comparing America and Asia?
No, North America. No, that's coming from global data. So
they got big pipelines over in Asia. Like they got some monsters over there. So
yeah, that's how much steel is that? That's a lot of damn iron.
That's a lot. Well, let me ask you this. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when you talk about diameter, the biggest pipe I've ever seen diameter-wise was 42. I remember crawling up inside that sucker and going, you're trying to get some numbers for an X-ray or something like that. That's the biggest diameter pipe I've ever seen. And to see them pick that up and move it is just crazy. What's the biggest? I know in some of these Asian projects, maybe in the U.S. as well, they have
60.
You've seen 60. So I've seen water pipe from a distance like that. I think it's 60 or 72 maybe, but I've never been able to like get up close and walk inside it.
There is some the salt domes in parts of
South.
Down close to New Orleans where they were doing some of the disposal wells are 72-inch ID. So that's some Haas pipe.
Yeah,
I mean that's you're talking 3,000-4,000 foot deep. These disposal wells are just massive. You just look at these bits they use doing these doing some of these tunnels where these drilling through some of these mountains and stuff. Those things are massive.
Yeah. But
just the infrastructure to carry that kind of steel is I guess that's why you got to go in and do all the survey work and everything else that goes along with it. But still, I never would have thought that we'd be anywhere close to being number 2 in the world, considering how much we struggle just to get a permit in place. So,
yeah, and
it is a struggle these days, isn't it?
It is a struggle, and just with again the long projects that they do in Asia. Some of those projects are crazy. Just how long they are. Hey, James Bond actually made a movie about that at one time. They were trying to protect or something or destroy one or something. So.
James
Maybe
Bond. Which one was that?
was that that's Tomorrow Never Dies? It was one of the Pierce Brosnan, so it's not the Tomorrow Never Dies or
It's not Sean Connery, but it's in between Sean Connery and
it's the guy right before Craig. So Pierce Brosnan. So
it's number 3. Pierce
yeah,
Brosnan.
he did 3. It wasn't Goldeneye, so it's either Tomorrow Never Dies or whatever the other one was.
Golden Nuts. What?
What was that one? Anyway, so it's one of the Pierce Brosnan ones. They're in a pipeline, it blows up. Anyways, James Bond, spoiler alert, he survives. So
it's nothing like a James Bond spoiler alert.
James Bond, spoiler alert, he survives again.
Do it. Okay, so we're going to go off of market news now and get into the stuff that really matters here.
All right.
Crazy football plays. So, Ryan, there's a couple of names there, but what's the craziest football play name you've ever heard, man?
None that I can probably repeat, not because
chicken wing.
Yeah, like if you watch some of these guys on sports talk radio, they'll start saying like, "Well, we had a so and so." You're like, "What? Hold on, what was that again?" So they got the John Gruden, which is the spider 2Y banana or something like that, and so
banana hammock.
Yeah, you get the Fumblerooski, obviously, which everyone knows, Statue of Liberty. So I don't know what you got.
So I come across this one the other day, but it was this one here called Catch and Release.
Mm-hmm.
Smoked sausage. Stampede Right. Smoked sausages would be a hard no for me, but Stampede Right. Ferrari Right. But these are actual plays that the Chiefs have been calling. Okay,
really?
So yeah. So I guess I struggle with this. Is this shit not supposed to be secret? I mean, they got it right here.
Yeah, I don't know. I wondered about that too. How much of that's just for show and how much of that is they really, I
mean, I don't know, but that's the Ferrari right, from what I understand that we're watching there.
Huh.
So,
okay.
I've always been the guy.
Cards
I've always been under the assumption that this stuff was like the most top secret stuff in the world.
Well, have you seen the cards that they'll hold up?
Yeah,
those would crack me up. So I pulled up some of those, and there's like a 4, a Pac-Man, some dude, and a Red Sox ring. It's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Let's see here. Send another to you. And you're like, what does that even mean? So those are like, if you scroll through these are what I would say are the weirdest things because, it's like, what in the heck is this? I don't even know. And so,
well, first off, okay, that's a good okay. So there's Hungry Pig Right.
Yes.
So
Pig left.
I mean, Pig obviously being the football, I would think. I hope. But I mean these names. But again, go back to the point that that I think it's supposed to be secret. I don't know.
Can you pull that one I sent you up, or is it too much of a pain?
Which one is it?
Look at your private chat up there. It's the second article.
Oh yeah.
The
Here we go.
Chat. Yeah, just scroll through some of those. The Crying Jordan.
Dogval.
Tupac, College Game Day, and the whatever the purple emoji is, I don't even know what that's called.
Devil Park #1 College Game Day. Yeah, I don't know. Here's Clemson's. Here's one of Clemson's from this year's national championship game.
If you scroll down to the about the bottom of the article, close to the bottom, they have a bunch of them right there. Oh, there's tons of these things. There's the Pac-Man one. Yeah, the Macho Man, the Reds,
Some of them almost look photoshopped, don't they?
Yeah. Well,
is that the Red Sox ring?
It's the Red Sox ring, yeah.
Masters. Yeah. They went all out with that one in the bottom there, didn't they?
Yeah, they got the spinning wheel thing or something.
Nike popcorn, boxing gloves. What is that? That's a deck of cards, spades, Gatorade bottle, nuclear bomb. What the hell?
So yeah, when I think of the weirdest things, like if you just
Belushi, yeah, and sure, I guess that's Corvette or whatever that is, saying some money. It's who has time to remember that shit?
You think it'd be more confusing than just giving me the play. Like, hold on, I've got
the
3 amigos, the bald dude, and a smile emoji. Get my decoder ring out here, like it's.
Well, this is what I thought that your wide receivers and your quarterbacks and everybody else carried the Velcro arm straps around. It had the plays on the inside of it, and
like life easy.
It was, or if this is just a deterrent mechanism,
maybe
to keep everybody's eyes off. I don't know. I don't know, but I do know that having 2 guys boxing with a bag of groceries wouldn't do anything for me on the field. So. I mean,
I agree.
I don't even understand. And they seem to use Tupac a lot. So,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I wonder, like, what's the relevance of that? I mean, I get who Tupac is, but I don't know what the relevance would there be. So, but I'm not up with the times, so I'm a slow guy.
War Eagle, huh? I don't.
Scroll down to have war. Right. Any of these. Look at these. It's just like
it's Apple, Snapchat, 100% Saints.
It's just crazy. So, anyways, I don't know how to judge any of that stuff.
I don't either, but I'm going to take a note now and start looking some of this stuff up. Maybe I'll do a play card next week.
All right. Oh boy, we're in trouble.
Come up with some play cards in the style of college football, because it looks like college football is the only one that can do this.
Yeah, it's definitely a college football thing.
Everybody else would be suing them for infringement using all the different photos and logos.
That's funny.
The greatest thing about it, and I mean, I'm just going to be straight up honest at the moment, is I don't see anybody kneeling.
Hey, not to put a damper on the.
We're going to go on to
what? Not to put a damper on the mood, but there's a report that we had France earlier. Now Germany's talking about toughening their lockdowns. So just keep that keeps it going up. Keep the oil going up. So anyways, sorry, just thought I'd pass it along to our listeners.
All right. Sorry about that. I missed all those comments. Guys, this is OT. So how do we go forward with LNG? Money. That's what. That's how we do LNG. Money. Lots of it.
Hey, there is an interesting book, Greg. Have you read this book called? Oh, it's over there. Hold on a second. I'll keep talking. I'll find it.
When you say over there,
wait, it's backwards to the camera, so I'm not looking at the camera. So I think yes, over. Wait, this is really weird because it's not as I'm looking. It's not over there, but on the camera, it is over there. So it's really over there, but that's over here on the camera. God, I'm gonna find this book. It's a good book to read on. Someone's proposing some ideas on how Africa could handle some of a lot of stuff, and LNG in Africa as well is one of the ideas. So I will share that with folks. I haven't finished it, but it's
they're going to be so just a couple of comments there. They're going to be the leaders in it. We're going to be far behind because we'll still be floating around in our oily boats with our oily boat paddles in the U.S. But I think other parts of the world will transition way faster than the U.S. will. So just my thought.
I put in the link here. It's called Billions at Play. Let's see if I can. Let me do it like this here. Actually, do that, and it's called Billions at Play. If you just search that, or you can use. There's the link right there in the chat. So it's an interesting book about all the potential opportunities in Africa as well.
When the investment question, you're talking about where are the people who want to invest in it. I mean, the people that want to invest in it are already investing in it. You know, you got your large international banks are in it. You've got people taking deposits in the, into the monetary fund, the IMF, every day, and all those backers, all those big banks around the world are all involved in all of that because they are getting their money back from the backbone of the market in all these countries. So with probably some kind of a 25 to 30% markup. So it's not, they're definitely not doing it for free. Not doing it for free. You think it's just a catalyst, Jose? I don't know. I think, I don't know. Where do you think that's coming from, Ryan? The investment into LNG.
Big money. I mean, that's the thing. It's not a cheap deal, and so people.
It's country money.
If you're
sovereign funds.
So if you're going to invest
funds,
right?
Every fund in the world.
Yeah. So if you're going to invest in it, then you got to find someone. There are some folks, some private companies in the U.S. that do some investment deals, but even those deals are huge or substantial compared to what
Massive deals.
Yeah, it's not like going and drilling a conventional well in the heart of Texas. It's a thing. It's a process. There's permits, and so if you want to invest in it, then find companies that are doing it. Invest in those companies, and that'd be my advice. So
that's So I mean, the closest I'll probably ever get to LNG is cranking up, cooking some fucking hot dogs on the weekend. But anyway, and a few burgers. But hey, I know it's I know there's for remote parts of the world, it is some technology that goes into that'll make it sustainable for people to actually have power. So there's a lot of goods to it, regardless how much it costs. And I'm not actually sure what the maintenance is on it. It's something I had never looked at, but
either.
I know oil and gas are the actual, cracking facilities and places like that. The maintenance is not cheap. So,
right.
Some other news, of course, this past week has been basically a shit show from one spectrum all the way to the other spectrum. But we're all aware of the mess with Parler and Amazon. So
we are. I don't know what you're talking about.
The whole world. Anyway, it's wild. I think. I mean, obviously the incident with the Capitol last week, but this one was a couple of days back. That's 11, so it's been 2-3 days. But of course, we know that Amazon is taking Parler, free speech app, networking app, off of their server. But looks like Parler's come back and said they're going to file this lawsuit, saying that Amazon didn't live up to their contract, stated 30 days notice before terminating their account. So, what are your thoughts here, Ryan, on this one? I have some too, so go ahead.
Yeah. So, this is one of these things that for me, I want to be careful because I am very much a free market libertarian. And so, it's one of those things where I want to stick to my principles. I don't want to be just with the wind going and react the way I do. So I'm always careful. I try to be careful on these things like this. First off, let's just talk about Parler. Parler, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think that Amazon was ever going to have your back at any point in the time in the future? So that's a gap on Parler's fault. Like they should have known that Amazon's hypocrites, they're cowards, they're going to buckle under any pressure. And so that's that they kind of walked into it, and so that would be the first thing. Like you should have known better.
One comment back to that real quick. They haven't buckled under the green environment thing. I mean, they're one of the only ones that didn't come out, big tech companies that didn't come out and say they were completely going against oil and gas when everybody else was. So they still had a bit of leeway in my book. They still had a couple empty pages so far, but they're quickly filling those pages up though.
Well, listen, I'm not a AWS expert or a server expert or anything, but I would surmise that there's companies that are a lot smaller in name that can probably offer a similar service in AWS is just easier to access. So warning to companies who want to do this, in the future, don't go with the big names because you can be found and punished. As for the contract termination, I don't know what the legality is there, so I can't speak to that. I do know that Parler's attorneys quit. Think about
yes,
that.
they did.
CEO
Same day. Same day.
Him. Okay, so
the exact same day.
I mean, okay, I'm not saying that the lawyer should be compelled to work for him, but again, lawyer, what did you think you were representing? Have you never logged on to Parler? And so all of this is this rank hypocrisy. I can get onto Twitter right now and find just about anything that's said on Parler on Twitter. I get on Facebook. Gmail has been used to do all kinds of terrible things. These people are the worst of the worst. They're cowards. They're hypocrites. They're the scum of the earth. I have no respect for them. I don't care what they say. I don't tune in to hear Zuckerberg give a speech. I don't care.
I'm going to rewind Ryan about 15, 20 seconds, and I'm going to say Parler's lawyers quit. So did they not know who they were representing by logging on to that? That's good.
I mean, seriously.
Seriously. All right. The reason I even brought this up, Rig Links, of course, our little, look at this guy. Yeah. Anyway, we'll scroll past that so we'll keep everybody's, damn it. We keep everybody's temper down, but they, Rig Links, which of course is, a oil and gas social networking application.
The best.
Got a little over 4,200 people, I think, or so. I hadn't checked it this morning, but not to saying that we'll ever be in a position to where we get the rugs pulled out from underneath us, but we also are hosted on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So 60 to 70% of your online businesses are hosted by AWS.
Sure.
Twitter
right. So
is hosted by AWS.
Right. Right. So just to be clear, I'm more sympathetic to you saying, hey, I've got to go on Amazon servers because you don't have the financial backing that Parler did. And so what I'm saying is if you're trying to compete with Twitter, like that's your goal. I'm coming to take down Twitter or Facebook. You're going in with big dollars. If you're on big dollars, don't go partner with other big tech companies.
That's right.
We're kind of stuck. And so that's what sucks about it because we have to depend on Amazon. I don't know who else does this stuff, but we're kind of stuck playing the shell game. Parler, that's on them because listen, Amazon should abide by the contract. I'm not trying to miss that. I'm saying they shouldn't be surprised that Amazon pulled the rug on them. This was everyone knew that the pressure on Parler was growing daily. So why not have switched a month ago, 2 months ago, like after the election? Why not have switched?
Yeah, there should have been. There should have been some foresight there on.
Right. And so Amazon. Sure. I'm not trying to act like I'm not trying to ignore what Amazon did. I'm simply saying this is the warning for anyone who wants to go out. So I put my content on Substack, right? And I have podcasts on Apple, just like you do, and Spotify and all that stuff. Me and you, I can't do anything else. I don't have, multi-million-dollar billionaire companies backing me. It's me. There's no one else in this office but me. So I'm dependent on these platforms to hopefully not get mad and kick me off. I also recognize that I say things that maybe they will change their mind and I'll get screwed. However, if someone came to me and says, Ryan, we want to back your media company. We want to make sure that you have, hundreds of millions of people or tens of millions of people or whatever it is, millions upon millions instead of the thousands upon thousands. Okay, I would say, well, okay, let's make sure that we're not
like. Did you say thousands upon thousands? That's good, Ryan.
Oh, what?
That's good that you have thousands of listeners. That's fantastic. We're both small media companies, and you said thousands upon thousands instead of hundreds upon hundreds. That's a step up. You
gotta inflate the numbers a little bit, right, Greg? That's how it goes, right?
Well, what would reality be these days if it wasn't?
I could have said tens upon tens. Ones upon ones. I thought thousands.
Pick up sticks. Pick up sticks.
Yeah, I could have said the nobodies upon the nobodies. If we want to be really honest, but I thought the thousands upon thousands sounded good. But whatever the numbers are,
there's only 3 zeros in your checking account, by the way. So what's the one in front of the 2? So
exactly. So, but I'm curious, Greg, if you do have an app and stuff like that, and so what do you think? Because we are stuck. That's our problem. Me and you are stuck in this game. Parler, if a real big time investor came to you and said, "Hey, I love RigLinks, I want to invest," which if you do, info@riglinks.com, and I want to take this to the next level, I would imagine you're going to say, "Hey, I need to." Yeah, I saw that comment. I know what you're laughing at.
That's great, Carter.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate that, buddy. Yeah,
Thank you for pointing out.
nothing like
Thank you
it.
for making sure that we all are clear on this now, Carter.
Yeah.
Anyways, but my question is, would you be like, "Hey, yeah, we're on Amazon, let's keep on Amazon," or would you say we need to hire a company to find out who else can do this or build our own deal? What would you do?
Okay, first off, you don't make comments privately that you won't make publicly. Number one, that's the mistake that Parler made. You don't say inside on your own private news feed, or you say private, but it's public actually. If anybody that has the app, you don't say that Amazon is threatening to take us down. We won't stand for it. We'll be back. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. That wasn't said anywhere publicly.
Mm-hmm.
That was taken off of the newsfeed of Parler and put in the public. So if you're not ready for something to go, no, I don't, Jose. Sorry.
Yeah, if you don't,
I am the actually only content moderator on my application, by the way. So when anybody puts forward a abuse notice, it comes to me, and I get to see all of the crap. This hasn't been a whole lot, man. But anyway, you don't ever put anything there you don't want to go public. And the other problem about that is that if you had been issued multiple letters, alerts on the content, and it was starting to rain down, from them, you should have known it was coming. I mean, they've been on you for a couple of weeks about some of the content you had on. And now I'm just talking about from an Amazon speaking to Parler perspective. I'm not speaking about small free enterprise businesses trying to sustain value and create economic growth and this kind of typical horse shit that you're going to spit out there whenever people are crushing small businesses. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about rules. That's it. There's rules in place for a reason. Now, if you own, say for example, if I owned a hosting company and the only thing I would allow you to host on my servers was pictures of cats and dogs, and you put a horse on there, I have the right to boot you off there because I told you the rules. So, I mean, if you have to look at it from a perspective as if you actually owned the company that was hosting your application. So how would you react to that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I think maybe we're saying the same thing a little bit differently, which is, why did Parler ever think Amazon was the spot for them to begin with? And so you're pointing out that, well,
first of all, it's the easy button, because Amazon has the entire turnkey system. All you have to do is load code. They have everything else. They have server balancing. They have everything that you don't have to go out and subcontract for and add on multiple different pieces and layers and layers to make a sustainable network. I mean, Amazon, just with RigLinks, I mean, since 2000, so that'd be November 2017, we've had, I think it's 99.7 or 99.8 uptime. Mm-hmm. So the servers have never been down on us. One time, I think it was 6 hours in 3 years. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, even normal computers need maintenance, man.
Right.
They don't last forever. And I mean, so this stuff's located all around it. They have the architecture. They're running the world on it. So, I mean, I think, me personally, Ron, I think they do have, I think Parler has a case, and only because it's based on the 30 days of contract notice.
Yeah.
That's
right.
all.
Yeah, no, so
that's all. But it still doesn't say that I can't come snatch the plug on you.
Right.
It's still, I mean, does Bezos have enough money to take care of that in court? Of course he does. So it doesn't. But is it setting a precedent? So what?
This is what. Yeah.
To get your head out of your ass is the precedent.
Well, this is right. So this is important, because what I'm saying is, if you look at it and say that AWS is trying to silence free speech, my only point to you is oh, sure, okay, but this is not surprising. Big tech has been silencing free speech for some time. If you say AWS is easier to use than anywhere else in the world, I have no idea. You're the expert here, not me. Sure. But that also means that if you become dependent on them, what's going to happen? If you say, I mean, so whatever you say, I think there's no disagreement on a lot of things that would be said here. I don't want someone to be forced to force AWS to use their service, but I also don't think AWS should be able to break their contract overnight without repercussions. Now, the problem is AWS can cut the check. That's what people miss. AWS brought Amazon cut the service 30 days early because they can just cut the check, or they can fight it in court forever. And so that's the that's the frustrating.
There's no ultimate repercussion setting up here for Amazon. So there's nothing up here.
That, assuming that they didn't have a good reason in their contract to cut it immediately, which we don't know. There could be a legitimate violation of terms and services agreement. That
they said they grabbed 70 tera worth of stuff that was posted on all the news feeds, but I haven't seen any of it, so I don't know.
I just think that, the frustrating thing for someone like me and you is that Parler, I don't know how many backers they have or how much money they had. It's more than I'm throwing around. And you realize just how fragile you are because I'm dependent on Substack, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify. I'm dependent on these apps. I can't LinkedIn. I can't do what I do without them. And I definitely don't have the money to go track down someone else, because if I did, I would, but I don't, so I can't. So now which means, how risky are you in what you say? Because, if the cord's pulled, then I got to go do something else because this is what I do.
Well, I mean, it's going to push the boundaries of, privacy policies again. It's going to push the boundaries of, what you can put inside. The main thing it also, and just highlighting about what content is actually put inside of a application or a social media network, is that now, I think they may have woke up a sleeping giant here. And now if you're going to unplug me, now you get to be responsible for what's posted on the newsfeed.
Well, real quick.
But right now you're under a protective act,
right,
to where you can't be sued for what's placed on the newsfeed. Now this is shining a completely different light on that. So,
well, this is what I didn't understand about Trump, because he talked about revoking 230, and I don't know all the formalities involved with that, but he was talking about, let's get it done. And of course, like a lot of things Trump says, he just said it, and there was never really any action on doing it. And people were like, oh my God, Donald's so stupid, they'll kick him off. It's like, okay, A, they're kicking him off anyways. But B, the threat to revoke them of 230 is the only card he has to keep them from kicking him off. Because, right, so as long as there's 230, theoretically, they should let him stay on. But if there's no 230, they're going to kick him off. But they're going to kick him off anyways, then he can threaten to pull it in hopes that they will leave him on. He didn't pull it, obviously. They kicked him off, and so he lost all the way around, and now we're coming to a different administration who, let's be honest, they're not going to be really concerned about any of these issues.
No, they're not. I mean, but how it, yeah, okay. I get frustrated because, there's Parler came back and said they were just they crushed them before, just before the rocket got ready to take off. Well, I mean, let's be honest here. Would I publicly say that I couldn't find anyone to host my network, or all my lawyers and everything quit on me the same day? I would never say that public, man. I would never say that public. It would be like the last thing that would come off my lips would be, I give up, because that's basically what it sounded like. It was like they were throwing the white flag in the air looking for somebody to save them, and nobody come riding in on their horse, to take care of them. So
I have a little different take on that. So I think, now, again, Greg and I are assuming that everything we're hearing is true. There's more nuance here. We just don't have the ability to figure out what the nuance is. So we're just kind of taking everything at face value because that's all we can do. But assuming that what they are saying is this at face value?
I take it for face value because it's the cheapest shit that we talk about. So I mean, we can't, I don't have a degree, so I have to work.
I have a degree. There we go. Two folks, no degrees. So think about it. Think of it.
We have all those zeros behind that decimal, not in front.
It's for the hundreds and hundreds of people who aren't listening.
all six of you guys.
Oh, 6 of you guys. We're up to 8 now. So yeah, we. Anyways,
Slick.
well, that's just on LinkedIn. That's not counting Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or whatever. Anyways, regardless, I think if you're Parler, and I don't know these guys at all, obviously, but there is something to be said, which is play the we've been pounded into submission card in hopes that some Peter Thiel or someone like that who was like, oh, these guys will make it. Like maybe they get motivated. Okay, I got to step in here now. I got to back these guys. I got to do this. And so maybe that's what they're thinking. Also, if your lawyer quits on you, people have represented Ted Bundy. Okay, Charles Manson,
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson, and got him off. Just to be clear. Okay?
Yeah, let's just be honest.
Let's be honest. And so,
even terrible lawyers,
yeah, and I am for a very vigorous defense. I believe in that.
Maybe need to call Rudy. I mean,
so anyway, so I just think the lawyers quitting on them is like, I would never hire. They shouldn't be compelled to work for them. I think their name should be publicized because you would never want those people representing you because they are a coward to the highest degree.
I don't think they ever said their name public. I need to go back and look at that. That's a good one. I need to go LinkedIn stalk Parler's lawyer and see where he's from and where he's at. But to go back and do some search on some of the cases that he's probably used to be civil. But I mean, for me, I think it does. To wrap that conversation up, number one, it tells you, hey, you need to have a backup plan B. Number two, when you're playing with the big boys, then you need to be ready for whatever comes down the pipe. So, if your backers were who you thought they were, they're going to ride with you until the end. So it doesn't matter what Amazon does.
Well,
so they'll throw money. I mean, you're supposed to have. I mean, even Dreamstime wouldn't even host them, man. I mean, they're like number 2 or number 3. So I mean, there's they have. I mean, what I'm saying here is if you have a product and you need to have a way for that product, you need to pay attention to the regulations. You need to pay attention to the speed limit. You need to pay attention to the people that moderate it. You need to pay attention to the people that police it. You need to pay attention to the entire ecosphere there and not just say, hey, I'm a free speech application. Hey, nothing's ever going to happen to me. Hey, I'm protected by the Constitution, because it's bullshit. So
I agree.
All right. Are we up to 7 now? I see Jose's back. Let's get out of the social media dark world of Parler there. Let's see where they come back in another month or so. I doubt it. We'll see how that works. They only got like 2 or 3 big backers from what I understand, and I don't think they're going to be flaunting any money. It'd be good if they just stayed quiet for a while, change their name to something else, and probably start back up. But they're also not the only. They're also not the only free speech app out there. There's also another one called Squadron 2. So
never heard of that one.
Yeah.
I know there's Gab, but I know.
All right, we'll go over to the entertainment a little bit. Well, so I thought this was interesting simply because of, I think it was back on one of our other shows we were talking about spies. But so Spycraft is it airs on Netflix January the 20th. So next Wednesday. For me, it looks kind of interesting, Ron. I don't know. I mean, so if you're into spies like Mayor Pete, so and then you might need to check it out. So,
is it animated? That's funny to know. And is there a Burger King plug in there?
No, it's a spy. The spy game is a serious business, and throughout history, the tools and technologies developed for it have mattered as much as the spies themselves. So they're going to teach. They're going to teach you. They're going to teach you how to be a spy.
Next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, man.
Okay. And are you in the same day as me? Is it the same day where you're at, where I'm at?
Dude, I am going to be flying. Actually,
It's
I'm
14th wherever you
yeah,
are.
it'll be. I will be very close to that day flying. So
But I'm saying it's the 14th wherever you may be. It's still the 14th, right?
absolutely.
I just didn't make sure like it wasn't like the 15th or even the 16th because it's crazy now. And a week was off, so I want to make sure. Okay, Spycraft, I'll check it out. I've been watching The Expanse. A friend tipped me off of that show. Have you seen The Expanse?
I have, yes.
We
I liked it.
Oh, hey! Look at this!
I like The Expanse.
My man! I'm only in season 1. I just started, so I'm almost through season 1, I should say.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
We got that kind
And just for a bit of nostalgia for anybody that's very interested, and those people that have subscriptions that actually don't use them or watch anything on them, HBO Max is bringing Reservoir Dogs and the Kill Bill Saga 2.
I've never seen the Kill Bill Saga.
HBO Max on January the 20th as well.
Can you tweet that link out there so I can check that out?
Yeah, I will. Awesome. This is this vulture.com. So
okay, I'll check it out.
It shows all the stuff streaming on HBO Max for January, and let's see. Yeah, all the stuff for January. But yeah, I think anybody that's okay, so there's Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 on the 16th. Me?
Yeah, I never seen them.
Oh man, they're epic, man.
Really?
They're epic.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Epic. I can't say I can't say enough. Again, I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I mean, I'm also I know Quentin Tarantino has his own public issues, but I know he's quite loud in public and he gets stomped on by his dad. But at the end of the day, Reservoir Dogs was probably the epitome of cult movies for me.
Oh yeah,
and I mean it was just Kill Bill is okay because I like, but man, Reservoir Dogs, and probably next to that would be Pulp Fiction.
So I've seen Reservoir Dogs a couple times, and I've seen Pulp Fiction a couple times. I've never seen Kill Bill, so I can't speak to that.
Kill Bill's good, man. Kill Bill's good. That's it.
You have this as a ringtone, though.
That's it.
I don't know what the relevance of it is. I liked it.
No, that's her whenever she's a bit bloody and walking away from one of those kill scenes. But yeah,
okay. I remember years ago I found it as a ringtone. I was like, that's a pretty good little tune there. And I never saw the movie, so
it's also got David Carradine in it, man.
Listen, I've been watching Star Wars, bro. Get off my back, okay?
Hey, man. Hey, I just got this sent to me. Let me see here. I have to look it up real quick. It was, make sure I'm right here. Now, for those of you that have never.
Hey, who is Randy Marsh? Some reference I'm getting made fun of. I don't know. I need to know the reference here. Oh, it's off of South Park. I don't know who Randy Marsh
So this is Ubisoft, which makes whole lots of games, has now partnered with Lucasfilms, and they are announcing a open world Star Wars adventure game on all the consoles. So I don't know when that is. I don't know when it's coming out. It just said 2021, but it's Ubisoft, Massive, and Lucasfilms. So if anybody out there has ever been involved with the Assassin's Creed line of games, so this would be the same type of open world exploration and kind of role play like Assassin's Creed. So, but it's Star Wars, not Assassin's Creed. So that's gonna be it.
Randy Marsh, I don't know. I don't watch the show, so I can't. I'm sure that's a derogatory. I don't get the reference. Sorry, so I don't know. You watch South Park?
You want this dog? I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen very much South Park. I tried. Actually,
someone has sent me the South Park Goes to China. That's him. That's in the jail there. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They've got Winnie the Pooh over there in the other jail or whatever it was. I can't remember. Yeah, someone sent me that clip. That's pretty funny. Well, okay, well, tip the hat then. I get made fun of so often.
The world is going wild, right?
You know, I was telling someone, I was on the phone with some friends the other day, and it was a 3-way call that I kind of got looped into anyways, doesn't matter. And I was giving a hard time about, I was on the phone with one guy. He goes, hey, hold on a second. Yeah, right. He goes, hey, hold on a second. I said, okay. And then he clicks back over. He goes, hey, guess who's on the phone now? And so whoever the person who called him, which is a mutual friend of ours, he's like, so we were all on the phone. And so I was like, it feels like a conspiracy against me, And they said, well, it would be hard. And so I started naming
party line.
Right. I said, well, you got the China stuff. And then, here's one thing I didn't tell, and this is not really a story behind it. It's just a fact. I met with the ambassador from Mali like 2 months before they had the coup. Like, I don't know if that's like, if I'm tied to that anyway. I'm not. I had nothing to do with it. But there are pictures out there. I thought about this. There's a coup. I met with him.
Did you have your pocket knife on you?
I didn't have nothing. I had nothing. I had nothing to do with the coup. I'm not for or against the coup, to be honest with you. I have no idea why there was a coup. But it's just funny because literally there's a picture of me with the guy, and then I don't think he was involved with it either, but it's just one of those weird connections. And so there's
What were you doing? What were you meeting with the guy from Bollywood?
Molly, we were trying to get their lock blade pocket knife policy revamped. So
no, it was good. I mean, I figured you were going to get them to turn over on the intern in Pete's office. So,
did you see that guy up there at the impeachment yesterday?
I also see where Swalwell is also on the impeachment.
Yeah,
court.
I'm sure his intern's out there helping him out.
Pete, where's the intern? She was just here just a minute ago.
Yeah. Seriously, we are months after that story. We've been doing the show before the new year, so that was last year's story. So it's a couple months old, and no one still knows, to my knowledge, where the intern is. So
Fang knows where the intern is.
Fang.
Fang is the only damn one for. Oh, I just got one that popped in here for. Let's see. Mickey Mantle baseball card shatters record sales for $5.2 million. This is just in from ESPN. Now, 5.2. What?
Do you know how much money I'd have to pay $5.2 million for a baseball card?
People don't even have that much. Look, man, I just there was an article today where BW Energy bought into some stuff in Namibia for $4 million, and I think that's a lot. Somebody just dropped 5.2 on a baseball card. Let's see, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle PSA 9, which is obviously it's almost a 10. But anyway, took the record from the 101 Mike Trout rookie that sold for $3.94 million in August. It's believed that there are only 6 PS9s of that Mantle card still in existence. So let's see who bought that bad boy.
Well, while you're looking this up, did you see the story? I know we're about to go, but let me ask you this. Did you see the story about the guy who has like $220 million in Bitcoin, but it's on a hard drive that only has 10 guesses to guess the password, and he's guessed 8 times?
Say that again now.
There's a guy who has $220 million worth of Bitcoin at current market value. The code, the Bitcoin key or whatever, is locked on a hard drive that's password protected. You get 10 tries or the hard drive basically is locked up forever. He's guessed 8 times and he can't get it right. He's got 2 guesses left.
It sounds like Parler on Amazon. Basically.
I mean, so here's the question.
You didn't plan your shit out very well.
Yes. So here's a serious question.
You thought that was worthless. That's exactly why he forgot his password.
So here's a dead serious question. if this were you and you had 2 guesses left, would you guess the 2? And he doesn't know. He's racked his brain, obviously, trying to figure it out. He has no idea. So would you A, guess the 2 guesses, knowing that if you get both of them wrong, you never have a shot again, or B, not guess anymore, and you always have the hope that maybe one day you'll come to it. It'll come to you.
Okay.
200.
So I'm a guy. This is the type of guy I am. So I would devise a plan, and I would share part of what's on that hard drive with a cracker, a hacker, to hack into the hard drive and get the code out of it, and I'd share the money with him.
I don't think you can do that. That's the problem. Or he would have done it. There's $220 million in the stake. Or
if it's a solid state drive, they can get into it. So I don't know what he's working with there. It's not like it's not like a thumb drive that has, if it's something in there spinning on it, yeah, he can get in there.
I have no idea what it's on. I'm not a hard drive. You're
it's wild. It's wild though. Just okay. So again, larger picture here. I'm from a very, very small town. There's not even that much money in my town, and together with all the people in the town, if they were all off the rig at the same time, back where I come from, they wouldn't even have that much money together. So how do you, as a grown-up, have something that has that much money on it and you forget the password to it?
He lost. Well, it's a 10. It's I don't know if you see these Bitcoin encryption. It's like a long deal. You can't remember it. It's like that's the point. It's too long to be remembered, I think. Well, okay. I'm sure some people remember them, but
it's the password to get into where it's at. It's
10 digits. 10 digits is hard to remember. That's more than you normally do. I'm not saying it's impossible, but he lost the paper, and that's the problem. He wrote it down and lost the paper, and so apparently the first 8 attempts he's used common passwords, and those haven't worked. So someone suggested
you can only use 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 so many times. 10, 200 and how much million?
220 at present Bitcoin value.
So I wonder what it was when he actually lost the password.
Probably not much.
$12. The hard drive was probably worth more.
Probably. So I don't know what I would do. I think I would not guess. Maybe there's a hacker. I'd be afraid to get the hacker in there because if it goes bad, then you're screwed up. There's something about once you guess those last 2 times, it's done. If assume that's true, then there's something about that I don't know.
Well, you'd have to hire. Okay, so this is the you'd have to do one of those Ocean's 11 thing with it. You'd have to have a hacker. You'd have to have a sniper. You'd have to have a security guy. You'd have to have multiple people in multiple roles there to be able to take out the next guy standing beside him if it started going bad. So.
Well, the other thing is, I wonder if he's concerned if the hacker does hack it, the hacker hacks it, downloads the data, gives him like some bogus thing, and then goes cash out the Bitcoin in Venezuela or somewhere, and he never sees him again. So I don't know. It's a fascinating story, one that you might like. I thought
cash it out in Venezuela.
Well, you would own the country, right?
Yeah, you would, especially at the value at the moment. Right. But I'm just thinking about where you would get the power to actually. To do to be able to trade the Bitcoin. So
yeah, you would own the country and still have, I said 220 million, you'd still have 200 million left. So you'd be set for life. You might get Venezuela and a few other countries for a package deal.
Zero, get yourself out of my seat.
I wouldn't recommend saying that. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't
get out of my seat.
Yeah, that's
But 5.2 Mickey Mantle card.
Yep, I'll pass.
Courtesy of Burke Communications. So I don't even know who bought it. It doesn't even say who bought it. That's what wait, hold on. The purchase marks yet another blah, 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 blah. Says Joey McCall. I'm asked a 1960, 1917 Mickey McCarthy, Joe Jackson. Yeah. And a PSA 10 Michael Jordan rookie card. Yeah, okay. Doesn't even say who bought it. It's probably bullshit. He's holding the card, but I don't know his name. It's not saying his name. There's probably a reason.
Probably so.
Whoa, sorry. Rob Go, the actor who acquired streetwear brand Dope in 2017, purchased a 52 Mickey Mantle card. Rob Go. Rob Go. You ever heard of that name before?
Never in my life.
Okay, we're just going to see who Rob Go is, man, real quick. Rob G. UGH. Owner and CEO of Dope. This is what I like about being connected to. Oh. So many people on LinkedIn. Let's see. All right. Here is the guy that bought the $5.2 million Mickey Mantle card.
Well, that's interesting. That's a lot of money. So dope. I guess it is. It's dope.
2,064 followers. So just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many followers you have in this world. You can't buy a Mickey Mantle card for $5.2 million. So,
well, that's right. That's right. With your
I applaud you, sir. I really do.
Wait, hold on. Will this come through?
What's that?
Hold on. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it.
I thought I had applause. I guess I don't. No, sorry. No applause. I thought
Was that the eagle's nest? Was that the bald eagle's nest I just heard? There was a bird in it. I still like my little girl calling the bullshit. I mean, that's one of my favorite one. So, everybody, I think that's a wrap for me and Ryan.
Thank you, everyone.
You guys out there have a wonderful week. Ryan, it was good to see that smiling, happy face again. You made it through another week.
I did. Thank you, sir, for having me.
It's always a pleasure, everybody. Greg, Ryan.
Oh.
That's my boy there from War Room Media. Try to keep him fed, and keep him happy. No,
that's Greg.
He's not Greg Williams. He's right. And I'm not Alexa. That's right. So, all right, everybody. That's a wrap. Thank y'all for coming.
You've been watching Overtime, a live series brought to you by Riglinks and War Room Media. Your hosts have been Greg Williams and Ryan Ray. For sponsorship opportunities, send us an email at info@riglinks.com. Tune in next Thursday at 10 a.m. CST for another live episode.